have we already started? Maybe I should save this for the actual interview.
Yeah, well, I did start recording. You caught me off guard, mate, again. Probably should just say that, like, all the views that we talk about in here are just your own views. They don't have any association with Telltale game. That pretty much covers you, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, and again, I mean, this is, pardon as I adjust here.
That's cool, mate.
Yeah, I mean, if this was a, Wolf Among Us specific interview or a Walking Dead specific interview, yeah, I would have to filter it through. But I'm assuming you're just, you want to talk a little about voice acting in video games, right?
Yeah, that too. I mean, and maybe some opinions of what you thought about the Wolf Among Us in particular, because, oh my god, you were awesome in that.
I've got to warn you right now.
Yep.
I am only up to episode 4, so I haven't played the last episode.
Oh my god!
Well, I haven't had time, and I gotta tell you, it's been real hard, because even though I recorded the main character,
yeah,
there are elements I am, not in the know about. And also, we recorded this quite a few months ago, so
yeah,
so a lot of it I'm not sure about, so it'll be almost new to me.
I suppose, do you ever record with the other actors in with you? So, does that ever happen?
No, well, I mean, it happens very infrequently with other gigs, but never with Telltale games.
Oh, okay, so that would make it really disjointed as well. So you don't know, like, you could be saying a phrase and stuff, but you don't really know what's going to happen, from that. Like,
well,
come back at that.
They break it down for us, and we see the scripts. I mean, we're not just floating out there in midair. But again, with Telltale, it's a little different animal because of the branching aspect.
Yeah.
That's a lot to take in. It's a lot to read. And once you've read a couple of scenes, trust me, remembering all those possibilities, especially for me, the challenge.
Because you would be normally used to just a straightforward linear game style, wouldn't you? What have you worked on in the past? I know you're part of League of Legends. That's really cool.
Let's see.
Oh, you got a list of them. Here we go.
I've worked on that.
Oh.
I sent you my gaming reel. It's 50 of my characters, but it's
oh, okay, cool.
Embarrassingly out of date. I haven't updated it in a couple of years. There's no Bigby or Woodsman. I can't remember if there's.
Hang on, you did the Woodsman?
Yeah.
Oh my god! How come I didn't pick that up? What? Oh no!
I'm the Woodsman. That's who I am. You don't know me.
Oh my god! Oh, I feel so bad now. That was so. That must have been so weird. That little bromance thing that you guys had going on. Episode 4, you're like talking to yourself and replying to yourself. That's so quirky.
I mean, it's happened before in games. Often we voice many characters in games, but I gotta admit, this is the largest scale video game. The most well-known sort of popular game where I've had a scene with myself. And yeah, definitely, especially the very first fight scene is me kicking the crap out and the crack out of myself.
Of course.
So yeah, it's definitely a little Freudian, a little schizophrenic. I definitely am proud of that and of the bar scene, except for the glass hymn part. As I said before, I'm still a little confused about the glass hymn. I did not intend on smacking myself in the head with a glass. I thought I was going to give him a glass of beer.
Yeah, that'd be good. Have you ever voiced in The Walking Dead?
Yes, Andy St. John, Leland in Bonnie's section of 400 Days, and Jerry on the front of the bus. Man, it's hot up in here.
Oh.
Poor Jerry, he
didn't make it like 2 minutes.
Yeah, he didn't make it.
None of your characters did. Oh, Leland, he died in my Walking Dead thing because
I mean, is that 100% clear?
Well, he got
I
shot
still don't
out.
know.
I'm pretty well. He stayed to stay with his wife in mine, and I just heard gunshots, so I just assumed that he was sent down. But look, there's so many unanswered questions, obviously, in this series of The Walking Dead. I think they've really pissed a lot of people off because of that.
It would be par for the course. That would make all 3 of my characters get wiped out.
So Leland, Andy St. John. Oh my god, that was episode 2 of season 1, wasn't it? The St. John Dairy Farm. That was probably one of my favourite episodes. It was heartbreaking because of Mark and how they started eating Mark. Because Mark's my dad's name. And I was like, oh no! I wanted him to live so bad.
I gotta tell you, Mark was, he was pretty tasty.
Oh my god. No, that was a really, really, really good episode. I love that episode. It's probably one of my favorite ones.
That climax scene with me and Dave Fennoy. Dave's a good buddy of mine, the voice of Lee. That climax scene is something I'm really proud of. Because I got to work with a hero of mine. Some folks don't know Dave Fennoy was a radio DJ before he got into voice acting, and he was the voice of the biggest R&B station here in the Bay Area. And growing up in East Oakland, I grew up with the dulcet tones of Billy Ocean. And Dave was David Ocean, I think. Before the Jamaican pop star Billy Ocean, Dave went by that moniker. But Dave is just an awesome guy. I stay with him when I go down to LA, he and his lovely wife, Mo. And that scene, it's the one when I do Telltale events that the Telltalers themselves most often ask me to do is come back and finish this, Lee. It was an amazing scene.
Very gritty.
Did you kill Andy or did you leave him behind for Mama and Danny to chew on?
I left him behind. I didn't want to, I think he got enough grit for me. So I was just like, oh no, screw it. I killed the other two and everyone was just like, why'd you leave him behind? Why did you finish him? And it's just like, well, I don't know. They found it really weird that I killed the other 2 people and didn't kill him. I think it was just because everyone was watching me beat the absolute pulp out of you. You know, I was just like,
you went for the full every punch until you couldn't punch anymore.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So, no.
Well, I gotta tell you, I killed Andy. I think that was the more humane thing to do because, you know, you leave him behind and clearly he's gonna become dinner for Mama there.
Oh, he was eating people. He was a cannibal. It just seems to make sense, you know, that the world.
When you're hungry, you're hungry, honey.
And so
who knows what any of us will do in that situation?
That's exactly it. It's just like I got so much shit when everyone realized in the last episode of season 1 that, you know how you had the option to take the stuff in the car or you could leave it behind. I obviously took it straight away without hesitation, and I still didn't regret it later on because it didn't really matter anyway because the guy was going to come and get Clem anyway. But I got so much.
Now see, but Andy St. John himself, I didn't take that stuff.
Didn't he?
Because that wouldn't be the right thing to do, Missy. Oh, yeah. That there's someone else's stuff.
There was no one else in sight, anywhere. You went no, and it's like I even took the. Have you played the season 2 of The Walking Dead yet?
Yeah, I'm up to I think the 3rd episode.
You haven't played the 4th episode.
We're good buddies. Melissa, the voice of Clem.
Yeah.
Gavin, the voice of Kenny. We're all pals. We hang out. We all saw each other at the 10th anniversary Telltale party last weekend. Yeah,
that would have been an absolute riot.
It always is, and you know, we're kind of proud of our tight-knit little voice acting community, and as close as we've gotten with the Telltale family. It's a little different than you know, most of these things. Usually it's a very corporate, very in and out, you know, professional thing. But we work so much together. There's so much dialogue in these Telltale games. That the directors, you know, Julian and Jared and the engineers Tim and Jory, on down to the Telltalers, all of the directors, all of the marketing guys, all of the bigwigs, we're like family.
Yeah,
we're proud of it.
Yeah, it was really funny for me to, being so new to gaming, it was really funny for me when the 400 Days DLC came out And at first I was really annoyed that they used the same voice actors, because in the back of my mind I just kept thinking of, you know, the other characters that you guys voiced in season 1. But by the time season 2 came around, I sort of appreciated it a whole lot more because of that tight-knit group, because of that community that the Telltale games are creating. And you just feel a whole lot more personal now, not only with the characters that you play, but with the voice actors as well. And it's just been so awesome. Like, I've talked to Melissa a few times, I've talked to Owen and a few other people, you know, the voice actors, and it's not just you guys that are really approachable, it's also the developers as well. And you would know Ryan as well, Linweller. Haven't you been to his house before? Did you wear the Hawaiian shirt?
Which Ryan?
Ryan Linweller.
There's more than one.
Linweller, the cinematic artist.
Oh, yeah.
6-foot guy. You've been over to his house a few times, haven't you?
Absolutely. He and I are supporting each other with kind of a healthy new lifestyle.
Cool.
Ryan Kaufman is a writer. He's also a buddy. So, yeah.
So what are you doing with the healthy living?
I'm sorry?
What are you doing with the healthy living? What are you trying to do?
I've dropped 60 pounds in the last 4 months, 4.5 months. It's funny, my lifestyle is a lot like a gamer or a streamer in that I sit in front of a computer often 16 hours a day. And when you do that and you're really, really busy, the temptation to eat convenient food, fast food, especially, you know, sugary stuff, processed stuff for the energy and the quick
buzz,
you know, the quick burst of energy and all that. I had gotten, you know, unhealthy and just wasn't getting out, not getting enough exercise, but mostly just eating way too much processed sugar. So I cut out the processed sugar and immediately lost 20 pounds quickly, like in a week and a half or so. And moved on. I figured, well, this works so well, maybe I'll try to cut out all processed foods. And while that's almost an impossibility,
especially in America,
you really can't cut out a few. Yeah, especially here. It can be done, and you know, make sure if you're doing the same to check with your doctor.
Yes,
and make
definitely.
sure you're doing it the right way. But nothing but good can come from cutting out some of the garbage that we, especially we in the gaming community, tend to dump down our gullets.
I try to avoid that as much as possible, but in saying that, there is a packet of chips up there that I'm looking at.
Chips are one of my weaknesses. Cookies, sweet cereal, it really is. It was my main thing.
I don't have breakfast in the morning. I'm lactose intolerant, so I don't like to have cereal.
I wouldn't eat it in the morning. I would eat it at 11 o'clock at night. That was the problem.
Cereal? Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Yes, please.
Yep. I've got a buddy, King Giraffe Hat, who does funny YouTube videos, and he's got a whole thing with cereal. He actually has some funny videos on YouTube. If you ever got a chance, you can check him out.
I don't watch people on YouTube, to be honest. I've been watching Super Nanny, and I've been watching...
Nanny?
Yes, I don't know why, it's hilarious. And I've watched Honey Boo Boo Child, because everyone was talking about it, so I was really interested. So I watched the whole first season, and it was just like, oh my god, this is what happens.
It's a lovely image my country is putting out to the rest of the world.
And it's terrible because, like, it's stuff like that that's all over our TV. It's just like, at the moment on TV, we're seeing heaps of Americans preparing for the end of the world, basically. So, like, a nuclear explosion or zombie apocalypse and all that sort of thing. And it's just like, they stereotype Americans so badly here in Australia. It's not funny. So ever since, like, the movie Team America, you know, America. So anytime anything American comes up, everyone's like, America. You know, it's just,
you do understand. Two of my heroes, Matt and Trey from South Park, made that movie. And clearly, you understand. It's letting you know that at least some of us get it.
Yep.
Yeah, we trust me, those guys are amazing. They really are my heroes.
I can't watch South Park for the like I cringe so much. So heaps of my friends want me to play the Stick of Truth. And so I'm going to play it eventually because it'd be a good thing for me to react to, because I'd be just like, oh my god.
Yeah, love to see that because I got to tell you, I do watch you watch these, although I haven't watched episode 5. And everybody, I mean, I'm sure you hear it all the time, but your reactions are just priceless.
There was an episode of Borderlands that I uploaded, and have I uploaded it yet? Not yet, but remember the boob scene in the Wolf Among Us where you have to go into the stripper, and I'm just like looking everywhere but the screen. It's really funny because in Borderlands 2, there's a moment where you can actually go into like this place called Hooters, and so I just bolt straight away to there. And Ryan's like, so in the Wolf Among Us, you're like looking everywhere but as soon as it comes up in Borderlands, you run straight to it. I'm like, well, you don't actually see the boobs. It's all good. And he's like, you're not to know that. And I'm like, oh.
Well, I thought you Australians, almost more than any other country, I don't know if you'll take this as a compliment or an insult.
We'll soon find out.
You guys, I think, are closer to us than most other countries.
Oh no, we definitely are. We definitely are. Well, we're actually becoming more like you. That's probably what it is. It's trending. Like obesity-wise, for example, I think we're nearly the top, country for obesity, just because of the ratios. You guys have got a lot more people. We've got a lot less. And yet it's like every 1 to 2, people is classified obese and stuff like that. Definitely everything's becoming more Americanized. Like Halloween, for example, it's growing each year, and I am so over it because the neighborhood where I live has the most bogan children. They are the biggest twats in the whole wide world. And every Halloween,
twats. I love that word.
I get that from my father-in-law. He's British, but yeah. So these twats, they come along and they're like knocking on our door, and we don't even have a pumpkin. They need to start making regulations, I think. If you see a pumpkin outside your door, come knocking, but if you don't, fuck off, because it's so annoying. I don't want bogans at my doorstep. It's really annoying. And it's normally the kids that don't need this shit that come around, and it's like...
You really don't like Halloween.
I don't like Halloween. I just think, and like for adults, people my age and stuff, they just go out and get absolutely smashed and wear costumes that are completely revealing, and it just makes our demographic look terrible.
That's the old joke, is that it's an excuse to dress and this goes for males and females, to dress trampy.
Yep. No, I'm so over Halloween. I get it. It can be fun, but in Australia they just
you could dress
don't get
as Buffkin or something,
Could you imagine me as Buffkin?
Okay, maybe Snow or even Bigby, whatever you want to dress as.
People thought that I looked like Molly when I had blonde hair. You remember Molly from
The Walking Dead? Yes, I do. That would be Aaron Yvette. Otherwise known as Aaron Ash.
Yes, Aaron Ash. Why Ash?
Well, she was Ash, but changed it to Yvette for a stage name, I believe, because of some other cross-up with another actress. I can totally relate. There's 2 other Adam Harringtons in the Screen Actors Guild, and one of them gets a lot of my big credits. I have to fight for him to get him back on the internet.
Oh, really? God, that would be so annoying. I guess we get that on YouTube. I've noticed that, like, when I type in, The Last of Us reactions or The Walking Dead reactions, I see my clips being used on someone else's channel. And when they don't give you credit for it, it kind of annoys you a little bit because you work so hard. Thank you so much, honey. So, yeah, I can get where you're coming from on that one.
But I will say, your walkthroughs are like, Let's Plays, I guess is the proper term these days. But they're more entertaining than most. And I try to check out PewDiePie once in a while. But I'll be honest with you, you have got the market cornered on reaction takes.
Oh,
and
thank you.
I see nothing but big things ahead for you, my dear.
Yeah, we'll see. The forenamed, the one that you just mentioned, it pretty much takes all of the market on that stuff. No one bothers looking elsewhere because
that's not true. I'm not no one.
That's true.
I watch more than I watch PewDiePie.
Really? Oh my god!
Yes.
Don't say that. I'm gonna blush.
Well, no, you give. I mean, you do a little, a much less silly take on my game, and
Oh yeah.
you take it a little more seriously, and your reactions. There's no faking that. That's pure gold. Get a hold of yourself there, Mundy.
Oh man, I love that voicemail that you sent me. Oh, sorry, that was Matthew. I've got this wild turkey thing. You guys have wild turkey, don't you? The alcohol. Yeah, and so I've got
yes.
this stubby holder, and it does a noise.
Are you telling me you're drinking wild turkey?
No, I'm not. It's just there from the other night. So yeah, I bought a 10.
Sure.
No, I'm not. I've got green tea, and when I upload this, you'll see. I'll prove it. Here we go. There you go, Adam. My green tea. That's what I do.
Oh, are you up? I don't see you, by the way. I just see your picture.
No, I have to connect my second camera if I can do that, because at the moment my other one's recording my voice as well as myself. So when you upload it, you'll be able to see me. I'm waving to you right now. So what games do you have behind you? Are they games that you've been featured in, or are they just special games that you like, or what's the deal with those?
I'm not sure you mean what you mean by behind me.
Well, I see Walking Dead Xbox game. I see Spider-Man, as in behind you.
Oh.
Literally behind you.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
Whoa! Is that your bed, Adam?
It is.
I totally saw Adam's bed. Oh my god, it's very sleep.
And I wish I hadn't done that because it's not made.
You should see my bed right now. It's got Harry Potter on it. I've got a Harry Potter blanket and a cat.
Yeah, no, I've done well over 100 titles.
Wow.
I'm trying to get some of them up on IMDb, which is proving to be a difficult endeavor.
Yep.
But the characters, again, we do a lot of different characters for games sometimes, and the last time I counted, I think it's over 1,000. But I've been doing this for 15 years.
How did you get started in it?
I took classes with a woman named Susan McCullum, Voice Media Susan and Friends Casting. There's a plug. I was just teaching a video game voiceover class for her a couple nights ago. And took a slew of classes, commercial, narration, and of course character. And then eventually you make demos and you submit them to talent agents in your market, and hopefully you get signed up pretty quick. You start auditioning and you start booking gigs.
Wow. So you have a manager as well, don't you? You mentioned that before.
Right, for appearances.
Okay.
Not for gigs, I have agents, one in San Francisco and one in Los Angeles. But for appearances, which I'm just starting to test the waters on, I'm sort of figuring it out as I go. Some good friends of mine, Kyle Lebear and Christina V, Dave Fenoy does some. I'm trying to figure out how to get myself into that world, because I'll be honest with you, we did Stockton Con, Eric and I, and some of the friends, Gavin and Chia and Rashida and Doug, and we love it. We love interacting with the fans. We love doing the panels. We love signing autographs and just hanging out with you guys. But it's kind of an art to figure out how to get these guys to contact us and hire us for their thing. Like, I'd love to go to Australia. I've always wanted to go to Australia. If you've got a convention out there that you go to every year and you want me to come, please put them in touch with me. And
well, I want to try and go to PAX next year.
Turkey.
We'll talk wild turkey. I love wild turkey. No, we have PAX here. It's only just starting to happen here in Australia. Like, we've had conventions in the past, but they've always been a bit of a fizzer. Oh, Cat, what do you want? A fizzer, yeah.
I love it. I gotta come to Australia, man. I think I'll want to stay.
Oh, you would. The sun's beautiful over here, and it's not too hot as well. Cat, what do you want?
How could you go wrong with a country, completely populated with prisoners? I mean, those are my kind of people.
Well, actually, I descended from sheep farmers. Thank you very much. I haven't got any convict in my blood, so.
Tell yourself whatever you have to.
Oh man, like I got a lot of crap like that when I first started YouTube. Most of the people that went onto my channel were just trolls, like just dickheads, basically. So it's a wonder that I even persisted.
And you're a female. See, I talk about that a lot. The misogyny particularly in the gaming communities and YouTube communities, it's something that is probably the most frustrating about interacting with the fans. You know, I'll put up videos with me and Eric, and you know, we aren't, you know, we're some pretty ugly dudes, but we get zero hate. Of course, now that I say that, I'll get a bunch of hate. But
no.
You put a female up, and instantly, you know, there are these guys that more than likely are lonely and don't know how to talk to women, and so they sort of take out their aggressions on people on screen, and boy, it's hard. Especially like some of my friends, the voice actresses, they are a lot tougher than me because it rolls off their back. But man, sometimes you just want to reach through the screen and grab some of these kids, you know, because a lot of these voice actresses are like my sisters, you know.
Yeah, you get really protective over
them. I have nieces and, you know, my sister and you know. Anyways, I won't start preaching. It's just, come on, guys, get a grip, man.
Yeah, I get a lot of people that call me the girl from Anus. They add an N to the thing.
Well, I don't know if
that's really funny.
More than just Beavis and
Butthead. Beavis and Butthead. I've never seen that show. I've only seen it on, is it Jackass? Jackass? And they go, like, they're the guys that go, the thing. Oh, there we go. That's the one. I can't do it. It's like a snotty sort of.
Fire.
No. Oh, God, you know it. Do you know it?
I grew up on Beavis and Butthead. You're Mike Judge, another brilliant, you know, hero of mine. The South Park guys, Matt and Trey, Mike Judge, of course, Seth MacFarlane, Family Guy.
Do you actually know them?
Those guys when I grow up.
Do you actually know them?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
I wish I had known the South Park guys because I'm related to Sir John Harrington, who was the inventor of the flush toilet, and they did a whole episode called Reverse Cowgirl, where my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, his ghost comes back and tells the people, we've been sitting on the toilet the wrong way. We're supposed to straddle it the other way so we can read and put our cereal in the back. But that's my direct descendant. He's actually royalty.
Wow.
He was knighted, I guess. I'm not sure. My dad would know better than I. But man, if I had known they were doing that episode, I would petition so hard to voice. You know, I am Harrington. I am the guy. But
that would have been so cool.
Maybe in the movie.
Are they making another movie? Are they?
I don't know. Those guys seem to work themselves silly. They have a Broadway play that's a huge hit.
Really?
Mormon. Oh yeah. I'm not a big play guy, but that's one next time I'm in New York I'm gonna try to catch.
Oh, that sounds so cool. I've watched their Imagination. You know, the Imagination Land. I've watched that movie and that's just like man, bear, pig. I was just like, what?
Do you do any voice acting?
Me? No, I'm too Australian.
Well, I'm sure there are jobs for Australian voice actors. There certainly are here.
Oh my God, I would have loved to have worked on Dead Island just because of the way that they stereotyped us so badly. It was terrible. Have you ever played that game?
No, not. I don't like first person. I only like playing third person. Sure.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The problem with us, well, me anyways, and some of my cohorts is, you know, there aren't exactly a lot of native Australians out here, and so when they need one, they see what we can do, and I tend to fade.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, this is gonna end badly.
I tend to fade in and out of Cockney, from Australian to Cockney to Australian to Cockney. I can't really seem to hold on, but I'm working on it.
Well, put my name in one day. You can fly me over there. That'd be awesome.
Oh, man. I guarantee you the Telltalers would love to work with you. I mean, they know who you are, trust me.
Yeah, I've heard. So, just as long as I don't have a picture of me and they're like, what can we do this episode to make it cry? Because that seems to be the thing that's happening at the moment.
Hey, well, you know, we take pride in that. If we actually bring folks to tears, we're doing something right.
Oh my God, Kenny coming back! I just lost my shit. I was just like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I was so happy.
Yeah.
And then
so was Gavin.
Yeah, I bet he was. Yes, the paycheck's back again. And then poor Owen, oh man, I just felt the guy that did Omid, I felt so bad for him. I was just, like, when I first started playing it, I was like to everyone, oh, I'm not going to cry this episode, I promise not to cry, I've got a box of tissues there and everything. But as soon as he got shot, I was just like, fuck no. I was like, oh, no, what?
Again, so was Owen.
It was just, it was brilliant though. It was a big wake-up call, and it really set the tone. Like, they did this big thing that they wanted to make it more serious, and I think that a lot of people, especially the voice actors, liked that sort of thing. I know Melissa likes the more hardcore Clem.
Well, we don't like our characters dying. And
no.
Telltale characters. Each one of my characters apparently died the very episode they appear in.
Yeah, you're jinxed, mate. At least you got to hold on to something with Bigby.
Yeah, it's a little harder to kill me Mondays.
So you started. So the first gig that you ever did with Telltale would have been the St. John's Dairy Farm episode, was it? Yeah.
No. Monkey Island.
I haven't played that yet.
I was LeChuck for one episode before the original LeChuck, Earl Bowen, came back out of retirement. It was one of the few gigs where I didn't exactly get glowing reviews. It's kind of hard to replace an icon, and on top of it, somewhere along the line, the director Julian Kwasniewski and I decided that a har laugh would be funny. It wasn't funny, but luckily I was also the character Moose in that series, so at least I have that to hold on to. I liked what we did with LeChuck, and other than the har, right? People seem to accept me, but hey, when Earl Bowen says he's coming out of retirement to voice LeChuck, it's time to say, all right, long hair boy, step aside.
Yeah, that would be really annoying. But at least hopefully with this, you can start your own legacy. It gives you an opportunity to work on other things like Bigby.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, well, that's it. You make your own legacy. I love The Wolf Among Us. I think I enjoyed that a little bit more than season 2 of The Walking Dead, just because of the fact that I felt like I could understand the characters and what they were going through more. I think there was a bit more character development in it. I think I enjoyed that a whole lot more. And honestly, there's something about you.
It's a lot of the same actors too,
Yeah.
And Toad Jr. and Gavin is D and Dumb and Magic Mirror and Beast.
Melissa is the little Toad dude, the little one. Yeah, Toad Jr. Yeah, no, it just, they focus more on understanding the characters and their frustration and like the whole glamour thing and the struggles that they went through. You didn't really get to understand any of the characters in season 2 of The Walking Dead. And that's why I was so fucking happy to see Kenny. I was just like, I know Kenny, I know what like journey he's been on, all this sort of thing, and I don't worry about other bullshit. With The Wolf Among Us, they delved more into it, and I'm really hoping they do a season 2. I don't think they've confirmed it.
You and me both, huh?
Yeah, I don't think they've confirmed it yet, but the way that
No, they haven't.
No. So the way that they left it at the end, I won't say... You probably have an idea, but...
They don't tell me nothing.
Yeah. Oh, just...
I've actually got a video. I interviewed Kevin Bruner, the president and co-founder of Telltale, at the party. Because I'm shameless that way, and I asked my Twitter followers and Facebook fan.
I remember you writing that. Yep.
And I'm getting the video together, and I might talk to some other Telltalers, but trust me, they ain't telling me nothing.
You'll find out a couple of months though before us, because I'll start doing the voice acting and getting you into the script and stuff. I'm pretty sure that's how it would happen. But yeah, no.
Well, if it does happen, I'm sure it's gonna. It's not like they aren't busy. They.
I know, with Borderlands and Game of Thrones. I haven't seen any more of Game of Thrones. All I've done is put a heading up on a blank screen, basically saying we're working on Game of Thrones, and I'm like, oh. So I'm really.
If they say they're working on it,
they're working on it. They just haven't put any more stuff on. I think they're really focusing on Borderlands though, because that's going to be huge when that comes out. And I think there's actually a new Borderlands from the actual. It's not Gearbox, is it? Is it Gearbox? The people that do that?
Yeah,
Gearbox. I think they're actually
Randy Pitchford, who I met at the Borderlands demo at E3. Very nice guy.
So I think they're actually working on something new as well, aren't they?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Oh, I thought I read something.
They're down in Southern California, as far as I know. At least they're not here. But I may be making a move down to Southern Cal. I plan on submitting myself to some of the big developers down there, because it's been a blast up here, and quite frankly, I take pride in the work we've all done up here for 15 years in the gaming industry and voice acting. But, you know, there's a whole group of these huge titles that I play down in Southern California that I want to get a shot at. You know, Blizzard games, we don't see any of that up here. Definitely Grand Theft Auto. I would love to get into Grand Theft. Hello?
Naughty Dog? I'd love to see you in Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog.
Yeah. Drake's and all the other stuff they do.
I was thinking more The Last of Us. Yeah, you'd be good in that. I can see some evil character in that. No offense.
Well, that's been my bread and butter. I have been the bad guy for most of my career, but finally Telltale, they had enough faith in me to let me take a lead character and run with it. Of course, it was a big bad good guy, but it was a good guy.
Yeah, it depends how you went about things. I mean, you could have pissed a lot of people off, or you could have made a lot of people happy. It just depends.
Yeah,
that's what I love about it.
Well, I'll tell you, I was obviously, because, you know, Andy St. John was a whole new character, Leland and Jerry, so these weren't beloved characters that people have already, you know, formulated a voice for in their head.
Yes.
Bigby, a different story. And when the fans started saying they love it, well, you know, we got the reviews, which I was happy about, but what I was really worried about was the fans, and pretty much universally was accepted, and I can't tell you how much it means to me. And then the final piece was a tweet from Bill Willingham, creator, you know, Bigby's great creator.
Oh, okay, yep.
He sent out a text saying, I never really knew what Bigby sounded like when I created him, but from here on out, it's Harrington VO, or something to that effect. And
wow.
that made my year. You know, it was an amazing moment to see.
No, I totally know how that feels. It was like the day that Telltale Games featured me in DICE 2013, and damn, like Matthew would remember me. I cried so hard, didn't I, Matt? I was just like, oh my god. It's just...
You feel validated, right?
I was going through my comments because I'm pretty good at trying to reply to everyone in my comment section, and I just noticed all of a sudden my last episode of The Walking Dead for season 1 was just racking up all of these views and likes and stuff. And I was reading the comments, and one of the guys was like, "Oh, I found you from DICE 2013," and that's all it said. And back then, like, I'm not used to, you know, gaming conventions and all this sort of thing, and I was just like, what the fuck is DICE 2013? And so I had to go through Google and Google all of this stuff, and I don't know how I found it eventually, but I got there and I found Dan Connors, and I watched all of the way through, and then suddenly I come up, and I was just like, oh my god.
Well, just keep doing what you're doing, and that'll keep happening, you know. The developers will notice you. They'll notice that the fans like you, love you, and you can't fake. Really, you can't fake the reactions you're giving, and that's key. Is that's what people are looking for with these Let's Plays? Is, you know, not the game content. They're looking for your reaction, and if you just sit there sort of boring and play, I still can't wrap my head around why some folks will watch some of the walkthroughs as just a guy playing.
Yeah.
But what you're doing is much more entertaining and much more interesting.
I love getting so involved in games. It's so cool. Have you ever played the game Journey? Oh man, that's such a beautiful, beautiful game. If you've got a PS3, I'd really recommend it. It's such an awesome game.
I do have a PS3 right there.
Oh yes.
Hey, I got an idea for you.
Yeah.
I have to go.
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
Hey now, so why don't we shoot for next Saturday, huh?
Yeah, that'd be great. So about what is it? 4 o'clock, which was my 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Right, and I'll try to hold on to my wallet next time.
Yeah, definitely. Good luck with everything, and have a good talk with your manager. And I'll see you again soon, Adam. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for being patient, huh?
Oh no, it's totally cool. Anything for you. Bye.